Welcome back to our channel, Rare Coins All World, coin lovers and collectors. Today, we have an exciting episode packed with history, mystery, and a coin that's hidden among the most treasured finds in the world of numismatics, the 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny. You may think of pennies as small, insignificant coins, but trust me when I say, this particular penny could be worth a fortune. So sit tight, because in the next few minutes, we'll be revealing why this coin, issued nearly 70 years ago, can hold incredible value today. And by the end of this video, you'll be amazed at how much a single 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny could be worth. The Lincoln Wheat penny was first minted in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The coin's reverse side features two wheat stalks, making it easily recognizable and giving it its name, Wheat penny. The coin continued to be minted with this classic design until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial penny. That means the 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny marks one of the final years of this design, making it a truly special piece of history. But why does a 1957 penny, specifically, stand out in the world of collectors? After all, it's not the earliest issue in the series, and millions of them were minted that year. The real value of the 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny comes down to a few key factors: rarity, condition, and unique minting characteristics. While many of these coins were produced, not all of them survived the years in pristine condition. A well-preserved example from 1957 is a gem among the many, and it's these high-quality specimens that collectors are actively seeking. When it comes to determining a coin's value, condition is everything. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny, like any coin, can range in value depending on how much wear it has. Most of the pennies you'll find in circulation today have been through many hands, dropped, and battered by years of use. These well-worn coins are often worth only their face value or a little more, but if you're lucky enough to come across a 1957 Wheat penny in mint state, the value jumps dramatically. Now, let's talk about the mint marks. Mint marks on coins are key indicators of where they were made. For the 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny, the mint marks you'll find are either D for the Denver Mint, S for the San Francisco Mint, or no mint mark, indicating that it was minted in Philadelphia. Generally speaking, the Philadelphia Mint issues of 1957 are more common, but certain mints, especially the San Francisco variety, are rarer and can increase the coin's value. The Denver and San Francisco minted versions of the 1957 penny can be significantly more valuable, particularly if they're in pristine condition, but here's where it gets really interesting. While the 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny is a popular coin among collectors, it's the coins with rare minting errors that really get collectors excited. Mint errors are mistakes made during the manufacturing process, and they're highly sought after because they're one of a kind. For example, some 1957 pennies may feature double strikes, where the coin was struck twice, creating a blurry image of Lincoln or the wheat stalks on the reverse. Other types of errors could include off-center strikes, where the coin is misaligned, or die cracks, which occur when there's a crack in the die used to mint the coins. One particularly valuable variation of the 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny is the 1957 DDO coin, which stands for double die obverse. This coin features a doubling effect on the obverse, or front, of the coin, where the image of Lincoln and the lettering appears twice. This error is very rare and highly desirable among collectors, making it a prime example of how small mistakes at the mint can create something that is incredibly valuable today. So, how much could you expect to get for your 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny? As we've mentioned, the coin's value depends on its condition and any unique features it might have. A typical circulated 1957 penny could be worth just a few cents to a couple of dollars, but an uncirculated example, especially one with a rare mint error, could fetch a much higher price. Coins like the 1957 DDO can be worth thousands of dollars, depending on how well the error is preserved. But here's the exciting part. If you happen to have a well-preserved 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny with the right mint mark, or even better, one with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a staggering amount of money. And now, for the big reveal, you're sitting on a potential treasure worth an astonishing $130,000, that's right, $130,000 for a single penny. It may sound unbelievable, but in the world of rare coin collecting, this is entirely possible for the right specimen. With the right combination of age, rarity, condition, and minting error, your 1957 Lincoln wheat penny could be worth more than you could have ever imagined. Today, we're going to take a closer look at a coin that might be hiding in your collection, or even your loose change, that could be worth a small fortune, the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny. Now, you might be thinking, 1949? That's not too long ago, is it? But believe it or not, this seemingly ordinary penny could be worth an astronomical amount of money depending on its condition, rarity, and some interesting characteristics. Stick around because by the end of this video, you're going to be amazed at just how much a 1949 Lincoln wheat penny could be worth. First, let's take a quick step back in time to understand the historical context of the Lincoln wheat penny. Minted from 1909 to 1958, this iconic coin has been a symbol of American numismatics for over a century. The design features President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, front, and the reverse side showcases two stalks of wheat, which is why it's called the wheat penny. The coin has undergone a few design changes over the years, but it remains a staple in the world of collectors and has a deep-rooted history in American currency. The 1949 Lincoln wheat penny, though not as old as some other rare pennies from the early 1900s, is still a special coin due to its age and the limited number of high-quality examples that have survived over the years. When you think of a penny, you might not immediately associate it with high value, but as we dive deeper into the specifics of the 1949 issue, you'll soon see why this coin is highly sought after by numismatists around the world. Now, you might be asking, what makes the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny so valuable? The first factor is the coin's rarity in good condition. As many of you know, coins that were in regular circulation tend to show signs of wear and tear over the years. By the time the 1949 penny was minted, it had already been in circulation for several decades, which means that the likelihood of finding one in pristine or near-mint condition is pretty rare. The higher the quality of the coin, the more valuable it becomes, especially if it has been preserved in an uncirculated state. Coins that are graded as mint state are often worth much more than those that show significant wear. If you happen to find a 1949 Lincoln wheat penny that has been kept in excellent condition, free from scratches, discoloration, or wear from handling, you may have stumbled upon something quite valuable. These coins are particularly sought after by collectors, as they represent the perfect snapshot of the past in their original form. In addition to the coin's condition, there's another key factor that can significantly increase its value: the mint mark. Mint marks are small letters that indicate where the coin was produced, and for the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny, the mint marks to look for are D for the Denver Mint, S for the San Francisco Mint, and no mint mark, which would indicate that it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Each mint mark adds its own level of rarity to the coin, and some are more desirable than others depending on how many were minted in that location, but the real game changer for a coin's value comes when you discover a mint error. Mint errors are mistakes that happen during the coin's production process, and they can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a highly valuable collector's item. Common mint errors include double strikes, where the image on the coin appears twice, or off-center strikes, where the coin was misaligned during the minting process. If you happen to find a 1949 Lincoln wheat penny with one of these minting errors, you could be looking at a rare, one-of-a-kind coin that can be worth a lot more than its face value. The 1949 Lincoln wheat penny is one of those coins that collectors keep a sharp eye on, not just because of its age, but because of the chance that it could possess one of these errors or be in a near-perfect state. As we mentioned earlier, a coin that has survived in mint condition is a rarity in itself. Many of these pennies were used in circulation for decades, and finding one that has escaped the wear and tear of daily use is like finding a hidden treasure. But here's where it gets really exciting. Some of the 1949 Lincoln wheat pennies have been known to sell for astronomical amounts at auctions, especially if they're in uncirculated condition or if they feature a rare minting error. There are a few specific examples of 1949 pennies that have been known to fetch five-figure prices, and in some rare cases, even more. Now, here's the jaw-dropping part. If you happen to have a 1949 Lincoln wheat penny in exceptional condition, with a rare mint mark, or even better, a minting error, you could be looking at an incredible payout. The value of a single 1949 Lincoln wheat penny could be as high as $170,000. That's right, $170,000 for a single penny, just waiting to be discovered in your collection or spare change jar. Imagine the excitement of finding a penny like this hidden in your possession, and realizing you've just stumbled upon a true numismatic treasure. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or a casual enthusiast, the 1949 Lincoln wheat penny offers a chance to own a piece of history that could be worth more than you ever thought possible. Today, we're diving into one of the most exciting and valuable coins in American history, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny. This seemingly ordinary penny, often overlooked in change jars or old collections, holds a secret that could make it worth a small fortune. Stick around as we explore everything you need to know about this coin, its history, and most importantly, its incredible value. The Lincoln wheat penny, first minted in 1909, is one of the most iconic coins in U.S. currency. Known for its simple yet powerful design, the obverse features the profile of Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse showcases two stalks of wheat. The 1944 edition of this penny, which was struck during a pivotal time in U.S. history, is a special coin that collectors and investors are constantly on the lookout for. But why is the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny so significant? Well, for starters, it was minted during the heart of World War II, a time when the U.S. economy and its currency system were going through massive changes. In 1943, due to copper shortages caused by the war, the U.S. Mint switched to making pennies out of steel. However, in 1944, the Mint returned to copper for the Lincoln penny, making this year's penny somewhat of a transition piece. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny is its connection to wartime copper shortages. The year 1944 marks the last year that the U.S. Mint made pennies from copper until the 1980s. The use of copper, while essential for the penny's traditional look, also gave rise to some fascinating production errors, especially in terms of metal composition. These minting errors, which we'll explore later, are part of what makes this coin so valuable today. Now, let's talk about the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny's actual value. Many of these pennies were widely circulated, so finding one in excellent condition can be a challenge. Most 1944 pennies you'll come across have been worn down due to years of circulation. But, just like any other collectible item, the value of a coin significantly increases when it's in better condition. Coins that are graded as mint state, meaning they have minimal wear and tear, are far rarer and, therefore, more valuable. As you might have guessed, the more pristine the penny, the higher its potential value. A 1944 penny that is in uncirculated condition, one that looks just as it did when it first left the mint, is a rare find. While you can find common 1944 pennies in lower grades for just a few dollars, the real treasure lies in the higher grade coins. Another important aspect to consider is the mint mark. The 1944 Lincoln wheat penny was minted at 3 different locations: the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark; the Denver Mint, mint mark D; and the San Francisco Mint, mint mark S. The Philadelphia Mint produced the most coins, followed by Denver, and then San Francisco, which minted a smaller number of pennies. As you can imagine, the rarer the mint mark, the more valuable the coin becomes, but the real jackpot comes when you find a 1944 penny with a rare minting error. These errors happen when the coin is improperly struck, and they can drastically increase the value of the coin. One of the most famous errors from 1944 is the 1944 steel penny. In an incredibly rare occurrence, some of the copper-plated pennies accidentally retained the steel composition of the 1943 pennies. A 1944 steel penny is incredibly valuable and has sold for tens of thousands of dollars in the past. Other errors, such as double strikes or off-center strikes, can also add a premium to the coin's value, turning a simple penny into a numismatic treasure. So, how much could a 1944 Lincoln wheat penny be worth? If you've managed to find one in exceptional condition, with a rare mint mark, or, better yet, one with a minting error, you could be sitting on a coin worth much more than its face value. A high-quality, uncirculated 1944 Lincoln wheat penny could fetch anywhere from a few hundred to several $1,000s at auction, depending on its specific characteristics. But here's the kicker: the truly rare examples, especially those with mint errors or extraordinary quality, can soar even higher in price. And here comes the most exciting part: the value of a 1944 Lincoln wheat penny can reach up to $140,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, one that has survived the test of time in perfect condition or with an error, could be worth a staggering $140,000. Imagine stumbling upon one of these rare finds in your collection, a coin that's been sitting there unnoticed for years, and realizing it could be worth more than some people's homes. It's a thrilling thought, isn't it? Today, we're delving into a coin that holds a significant place in both U.S. history and the world of numismatics, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny. For many, this coin might seem like just another penny, but believe me, it could be worth far more than you expect. In fact, if you have the right 1945 penny, it could potentially fetch a jaw-dropping value of $130,000. So, stick with me as we explore why this particular penny is so valuable and what makes it a hidden treasure in the world of coin collecting. First, let's talk about the historical context of the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny. This penny was minted at the tail end of World War II, which was a time of both struggle and transition for the United States. The nation was focused on wartime production, and the economy was in flux as the U.S. prepared to emerge from the war and enter a new era of peace and prosperity. During this time, the U.S. Mint faced various challenges, including shortages of materials such as copper. As a result, the Mint had to carefully adjust its processes to ensure a steady production of currency. By 1945, the Mint was back to using copper for its pennies after switching to steel in 1943, making this penny a significant part of the U.S. coinage history. The design of the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. The reverse side features two stalks of wheat, which is why this penny is often referred to as the wheat penny. The wheat motif was symbolic of the nation's agricultural roots and served as a reminder of the hard work and resilience of the American people. The design itself has stood the test of time and remains one of the most beloved images in American coinage. But what truly sets the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny apart from other coins is its value, and that's what we're all here to explore today. While many 1945 pennies were produced, it's the condition of the coin that determines its value in the eyes of collectors. As with most coins, the value of a 1945 penny is influenced by several factors: its overall condition, its rarity, and whether it possesses any unique features, such as minting errors. When it comes to coin condition, the higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Most of the 1945 pennies you come across are likely to be worn and damaged due to years of circulation. However, some were kept in pristine condition by collectors or have survived the decades without much wear. These coins, which are graded as mint state or uncirculated, are much rarer and highly sought after in the numismatic world. Coins in excellent condition can sell for much higher prices than those that are heavily circulated. One of the things that make the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny particularly valuable is the possibility of discovering a rare minting error. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process, resulting in a coin that deviates from the original design. These errors can range from misstrikes, double strikes, and off-center strikes to more complex issues like overdates and incorrect metal compositions. Minting errors are highly prized by collectors because they are unique and often quite rare. For instance, there have been reports of 1945 pennies with double die errors, where the die that strikes the coin has been misaligned. These errors can make the coin look dramatically different from the standard issue, and as a result, they can command significantly higher prices. If you find a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny with one of these errors, you may have just discovered a hidden treasure that could be worth far more than you ever imagined. Now, let's talk about the specifics of what makes the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny stand out among other coins. While the majority of the 1945 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, without a mint mark, there were also coins produced at the Denver Mint, denoted by the D mint mark, and the San Francisco Mint, denoted by the S mint mark. The coins from the San Francisco Mint are generally the least common of the three, which makes them more valuable to collectors. As you probably know, rarity plays a huge role in determining a coin's value. The scarcer the coin, the more in demand it becomes, and the higher its value will climb. So, if you come across a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny with an S mint mark in excellent condition, you may just have a rare and valuable piece in your collection, but there's something even more exciting. The combination of a rare mint mark, minting errors, and pristine condition can elevate the value of a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny to astronomical heights. And that's exactly why this penny is so highly sought after by collectors. Let's talk numbers. If you have a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny in exceptional, uncirculated condition, or better yet, one with a rare mint mark or a minting error, you could be looking at a coin that's worth an incredible $130,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $130,000 for a single penny. Imagine finding such a coin in your collection, or stumbling upon one while searching through your spare change. That penny could change your life and become a treasure worth far more than its face value. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating and valuable pennies in U.S. history, the 1954 Lincoln wheat penny. If you're a coin collector or just someone curious about the hidden treasures that could be lurking in your spare change, you'll want to stick around for this video. The 1954 Lincoln wheat penny may seem like an ordinary coin, but when it's in exceptional condition, or if it has a rare mint mark, this penny could be worth an astonishing amount of money. In fact, it could be worth as much as $180,000. Yes, you heard that right. Let's explore why this particular penny is worth so much and what makes it so special. To understand why the 1954 Lincoln wheat penny is so valuable, let's first take a look at the history behind it. The 1954 penny was minted during an interesting time in American history. The United States had just come out of World War II, and the country was experiencing significant changes as it entered the 1950s. The economy was booming, consumer culture was expanding, and the U.S. Mint was busy producing coins to meet the demands of a growing economy. The 1954 Lincoln wheat penny, like all other pennies of the time, features the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. This image of Lincoln, which was first introduced in 1909, has become one of the most recognizable and enduring representations of the 16th President of the United States. On the reverse, you'll find the famous design of two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the nation's agricultural roots. The wheat penny design remained in circulation from 1909 until 1958, and during that time, it became a beloved part of American currency. Now, let's dive into what really makes the 1954 Lincoln wheat penny special. The value of a coin is largely determined by its rarity and condition, and when it comes to the 1954 penny, the key factors that influence its value are its mint mark, the condition of the coin, and whether it has any unique characteristics or errors. First, let's talk about the mint mark. The U.S. Mint produced the 1954 Lincoln wheat penny at three different facilities: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Most of the 1954 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, and these coins do not have a mint mark. However, there were also pennies struck at the Denver Mint, marked with a D mint mark, and at the San Francisco Mint, marked with an S mint mark. As with most coins, the scarcity of certain mint marks can make a significant difference in value. The 1954 Lincoln wheat penny with an S mint mark, in particular, is rarer than its D and Philadelphia counterparts, and as a result, it can be worth considerably more, especially if it is in excellent condition. Speaking of condition, the state of preservation is one of the most important factors when it comes to determining a coin's worth. Most coins that have been in circulation for decades will show signs of wear and tear. The 1954 penny is no exception, with many of these coins having been heavily circulated. However, a coin that has been well preserved and is in mint state or uncirculated condition is far more valuable. These coins have little to no wear, and their details are crisp and sharp. Finding a 1954 penny in this condition is relatively rare, which is why it can command a much higher price in the market. In addition to the mint mark and condition, there's another factor that can dramatically increase the value of the 1954 Lincoln wheat penny: minting errors. Mint errors happen when something goes wrong during the coin's production, resulting in a coin that is different from the intended design. These errors can range from misstrikes and double strikes to off-center strikes, die cracks, and more. Some of these errors are so rare that they make the coin a one-of-a-kind collectible, and collectors are willing to pay top dollar for them. For example, a 1954 penny with a double die error, where the die that strikes the coin has been misaligned, can be worth far more than a standard penny. These errors are particularly sought after by collectors because they are so unique, and the rarity of such coins drives up their value. If you happen to find a 1954 Lincoln wheat penny with a minting error, especially one that is in excellent condition, you could be looking at a valuable piece of numismatic history. Now, let's talk about the real kicker: the value of a 1954 Lincoln wheat penny in exceptional condition. As we've already mentioned, a coin's value increases significantly when it is in mint state and has rare characteristics such as a rare mint mark or a minting error. And while most 1954 pennies are worth only a few cents, a highly coveted example of this coin can be worth a small fortune. For the 1954 Lincoln wheat penny in the best possible condition, whether it's an S mint mark coin, a rare minting error, or simply an uncirculated gem, you could be looking at a value of $180,000. That's right, $180,000 for a single penny. Today, we're diving into the world of one of the most iconic and valuable pennies in U.S. history, the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny. While the Lincoln wheat penny is a well-known and beloved coin, the 1950 mint mark holds something extra special. So, if you're a coin collector or you're just curious about the hidden treasures that could be lurking in your coin jar, keep watching because you might just be sitting on a small fortune without even realizing it. To fully understand why the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is worth so much, we need to take a trip back in time. The 1950s were an interesting era in American history. The U.S. was recovering from the Second World War and entering a period of prosperity and economic growth. In fact, the decade saw the rise of consumerism, the birth of the suburban boom, and the golden age of the automobile. But it was also a time when coinage was still very much a part of everyday life. The 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is a continuation of the series first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The obverse features the famous bust of President Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, we see the two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the nation's agricultural roots. This design became a staple of American currency until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design that we are familiar with today. But what makes the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny particularly special? The answer lies in a combination of factors, including the mint mark, its rarity, and the condition of the coin. First, let's talk about the mint mark. The U.S. Mint produced the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny at multiple facilities, with the primary ones being the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. If you have a 1950 penny with a D mint mark, it was struck at the Denver Mint. If it has an S, it came from the San Francisco Mint. Pennies produced at the Philadelphia Mint, on the other hand, do not have a mint mark. Of these three, the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is often considered the most valuable. It is the rarest of the three, with fewer examples circulating than its Denver and Philadelphia counterparts. But don't let that fool you, the 1950 D penny can also be a valuable coin if it's in great condition. However, it's the 1950 that truly steals the spotlight for collectors. Now, let's talk about the condition of the coin, which is arguably the most important factor when it comes to determining its value. Most coins that have been circulating for decades show signs of wear, and the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is no exception. However, a coin that has been kept in mint condition, free from any significant scratches or damage, can be worth far more than one that has been heavily circulated. In fact, coins that are graded mint state or uncirculated are prized by collectors, and they can command astronomical prices. When it comes to the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny, an uncirculated example is a highly coveted find. A coin in pristine condition will have sharp, crisp details, with no visible signs of wear on the Lincoln bust or the wheat stalks on the reverse. These coins are considered rarities, and they are in high demand. But there's one more factor that could boost the value of your 1950 Lincoln wheat penny: minting errors. Mint errors occur when something goes wrong during the coin's production, resulting in a mistake that makes the coin unique. Some of the most valuable errors include double strikes, off-center strikes, die cracks, or incorrect metal composition. If you happen to come across a 1950 Lincoln wheat penny with any of these errors, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Error coins are incredibly rare and highly prized by collectors because of their unique characteristics. So, let's talk about how much a 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is really worth. In general, the value of a 1950 Lincoln wheat penny depends on factors like its mint mark, condition, and any potential errors it may have. A typical 1950 penny in average circulated condition might be worth only a few cents to a couple of dollars. However, if you have a 1950s penny in uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Now, for the real exciting part, if you have a 1950 Lincoln wheat penny in exceptional condition, particularly one with a rare minting error or a low mintage, it could be worth a truly impressive amount of money. And when we talk about coins in near-perfect condition, with no signs of wear and all the original details intact, we're talking about a potential value of $170,000. Yes, you heard that right, $170,000 for a single 1950 Lincoln wheat penny. That's a value that could make any collector's heart race. So, what should you do if you have a 1950 Lincoln wheat penny? First, make sure to examine the coin closely. Look at the mint mark, check the condition, and look for any potential minting errors. If your coin is in great shape, you may want to get it professionally graded by a numismatic expert to determine its true value. In many cases, having your coin professionally graded can significantly increase its market value, especially if it's an uncirculated specimen or has a rare error. To wrap things up, the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is a fascinating and valuable piece of American coinage. Whether it's the rare 1950s penny, a minting error, or simply a beautifully preserved coin, this penny could be worth far more than you ever imagined. And as we've seen, if you happen to have a particularly rare and well-preserved example, it could be worth as much as $170,000. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare and valuable coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future discoveries. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.